United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's the invocation? What's
That's
that?
what somebody invites you over. a couple of years.
Some people or some boards do a prayer. Yeah.
That's something I think we should talk about later on, but.
Harley, I mean, we suggested that last week. Harvey, is that his name, Harvey? Or?
Dan.
Yeah.
Didn't he do it last?
Yeah. Somebody, remember he was, yeah, he said he'd like
Yeah.
Oh, is that something we want to continue with? I mean,
He asked to do it. I mean, if he wants to do it, I have no problem.
I'm fine with it.
okay. So you guys okay with that?
Absolutely.
All right. Dan, you want to do prayer?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Heavenly Father, we just come to you today, Jesus, Lord, for someone on this meeting, God. God, we ask, Lord, that you just, God, thank you for anything that we do. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
We'll have the roll call. We'll start this way and work our way around.
Okay, we can do that.
Vicky Crowell,
Laurie Dennison.
Chuck Terrio, chair.
Jim Keegan,
Vice chair.
Jim Kremen, select board rep.
And I'm Robert
Board
Wilson.
Administrative Partner.
New administrative clerk.
Welcome.
Thanks.
All right. So,
Should we review the last week's
yeah, we
last month's
should. The
minutes?
last time we haven't looked at them yet. Now, did we have minutes from the one before? Did we?
We approved them last.
We did good,
We did,
okay.
we did. Last month we approved
My
them.
memory's good. It just doesn't last long.
Yeah. So last month was when we just kind of voted you in.
Yep. And Jimmy and then.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, I make a motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
Second. Vicky seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Alright, that's done. We have, on new business, I think we have a couple guests here. Can you guys just state your name? Are we recording?
Yes.
Video, audio too?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I know we're doing video. You guys just let us know who you are and what you're here for.
Brendan Flagg, Middleton, New Hampshire, here for requesting a variance on doing a minor addition to our home.
What's the address?
11 Jordan Drive. If you blink when you drive by it, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Pretty small. So.
How big is your lot? How big is the lot?
The lot is just under an acre.
And how big is this addition?
We're looking to, so the existing structure is 850 square feet, and we're looking to bump it out 8 feet on one side. And the reasoning for it is to make the bedrooms a little bit larger and expand the bathroom as well.
And because you're gonna be touching pipes and with the water, you have reached out for septic. Have you reached out at all about your existing, you wanna get the variance first and then go ahead?
Yep.
Because when you're doing any type of sewage, you don't need a new septic. However, you're gonna need a possible plan if the current one you have fails.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a guideline. that
Yes,
has to
ma'am,
happen.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, excuse me, that being said, so we're not looking to increase the bedroom size of the house. It's currently a 2-bedroom. We're just looking to take basically the 2 bedrooms are on the one side of the house, and we're looking to just move the wall out, which would enable us to create a full bath, because currently it's a half bath, it's a shower and a toilet, and just give us a little more breathing room in the bedroom. And the reason for the variance, from what I understood as we started this process, was that we're encroaching upon the neighbor Tom Bowles' land. We've spoken to him, and he said he had no problem with it. But we're within, from what we understand,
The 20 feet guideline.
Correct.
property guideline.
And as a matter of fact, the house was built prior, I think, to that process, so we're already within the 20-foot.
So it's probably already grandfathered because it was built like that, they don't have the 20 guidelines. Plus,
So your property line has been surveyed, do you know?
So we have a rough survey, it hasn't been hard surveyed, if you want a copy of it, we can show you.
What do you mean by rough? Is this tax map?
No, this is, so we have a neighbor, and I can kind of point it out to you. So this is our property here, okay, so I should turn it this way. So this is Jordan Drive, this is our driveway, this is our home. This is Tom Boville's land, and this is our neighbor who just purchased this land. And these guys came out, they surveyed this property. While the surveyors were there, they decided that they were gonna get, like, there was a gentleman that the guy mentioned, I wish I could remember his name, he said he's an amazing surveyor, an old timer, that surveyed these properties way back when, and they wanted to verify.
his name Randy Orvis.
I think that's the name.
Randy Orvis.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done a lot of all the designs and the septic.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Randy's a great guy, and he could be in touch to do that.
So they surveyed this gentleman's property while they're,
Did he put these pins in, these, on each side?
yes, yes, sir.
So you should be able to pull across wherever that is.
So they actually did this as well while they were on site. So we paid for this,
Okay.
but from what I understood, that it's not like a full-on survey, this was more of like a sketch to kind of give the overview. So, long story short, this side of the property, the septic tank is located roughly here, and the leach field is here. So what we wanted to do, we talked about a bunch of things when we discussed this, doing a jog out this way, a jog out this way, but obviously we're not in compliance with the street going this way. And then our neighbor here, Tom, who they use that as a camp. Great guy, we talked to him, we said, hey, we're looking at doing this, and it was either, second floor, which we really don't need, and fiscally is a little out of our range as well. So we thought if we could bump this out 8 feet, and then expand the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms, which are located on this side of the
So
house.
this is 20 feet here now?
No, it's shorter than that.
This is,
So this.
this distance, from what I'm understanding, is the actual distance where you can actually build if this was a vacant lot and built today, based on.
So that must be, is it 20-foot setbacks in that zone?
Yeah, but there's so many lots that are not 20 feet back. I mean, I know that area, and there are lots of houses that
now.
are 10 feet. Yeah, there's houses that are 10 feet from the side of the road.
Right.
So it is conducive to all the neighbors.
The 8 feet here,
So if this is 20, you're already at like probably 15 from the property line there. So
I
it's
see,
gonna
that's
be-
correct.
You're gonna be like 7 feet if you add 8 more feet from the property line. Basically.
But now that line that we're talking about, there is not an official survey for that line.
Well, must have a deed that would tell him the width of your lot. right?
Yeah.
should be able to.
We
Not
don't
close,
need to have
I
an
think.
official survey.
Well, we're
with that.
at just survey for this lot.
Yeah.
You should be able to pretty easily be able to pull some tapes off of the pins that they've just, I saw them, they were pretty thorough.
However, a signed agreement from the neighbor.
But,
It's these guys, Norway Plains, Rochester.
Yeah. So what is back here? This is the wetlands?
That is, no, there's no wetlands, that is all privately owned, I think it's like, I wanna say it's like 47 acres, it's privately.
Conservation.
Yeah.
And what's in the back preventing you from going this way with an addition?
So if you look at the house this way, so it's 850 square feet. So basically, we have, the septic tank is located here.
But your leach field is here?
The leach field is there. And I have to be, so when they did it killed me because I would have easily gone this way and probably put, like, with your consent, a garage and an overhead space that would have created some more space for us, but we can't go this way. And if we go this way and we're not approved to go out of this, we've got to go in here, and it seriously.
Can't cover the tank.
It
Well,
really
you could-
limits.
The tank is not super expensive to put another tank over here. Is this just crawl space underneath or?
It's crawl space with cinder block, but the tank is located to the left here. So may I borrow your pen? So if I can give you an approximate, the tank is basically here, and then the pipe goes over here, and the leach field is here. So, I mean, it would limit, we could do something like this, but, we looked at it again from a fiscal standpoint, that if we can bump it out this way with our neighbor's consent, we just, all we have to do is maintain the pitch of the roof. And when we discussed it with him, so the lake is here.
Yeah.
So if we go either way, we're obstructing his view.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that you're not gonna go higher, because over there especially, that creates, some animosity sometimes. Over by the lake for obvious reasons.
Yep.
The only concern that I would see is we just wanna make sure that you're not going, the property lines are all messed up on some of the properties.
Yes, ma'am.
And we just don't, I'm thinking we don't wanna be on his property, because if he sells and there's something down the line, so we need to just make sure
Absolutely.
that line right there, or, like, the
That
markers.
was my concern, you wanna make sure you're building on your land, not his, even if he's okay with it.
Yep,
you wanna be
absolutely.
positive You're on,
Absolutely.
you're on there.
Yep, and I know, so the interesting thing is, I mean, this is all just semantics at this point. I think his ultimate goal, he's a contractor from Massachusetts, and his goal is to retire at this point.
Oh.
And he's actually looking to potentially do some work to it as well.
Mhm.
So,
So you are planning to have it surveyed, you were talking about the older gentleman that come out.
But
and
do they
survey.
have to have a survey done just for an addition, and this is a small addition?
Well,
I am
so
thinking
you do need to because they need a variance, right? So
Okay.
when you make something less conforming, it's it's not conforming now. It's hard for us to justify less conforming. If you have a property line and then he has to meet the 5 criteria.
Right,
that you
yes.
have. Have you looked at the criteria? So what I'm hearing from everybody, and we can just, this is all informal, and I think you should, if Norway Plains has done this, have them come give you a stamped plan of your lot. It probably won't cost much since they've already done
it'll
this.
cost a lot.
Mhm.
It's in the thousands.
Yeah, but we can't allow you to build, if the line is really here, you go we can't allow you to go 8 more feet if your line is going on somebody else's property. We'll get sued.
No, on somebody else's
Yeah.
property, understood.
Yeah.
Right, but we need that property line actually put in.
Absolutely. And in that case, if we were granted variance, we would absolutely
No,
do
we
that.
can't grant the variance without knowing where the property line is, because it's so tight out there that unless you can have them locate your house and your actual property line on this
Yep.
side, I wouldn't feel.
But we're already out of the variance.
It doesn't matter, we're gonna make it even less conforming. You're not conforming now, so you do have a little bit of good thing there. We can, since you're already not conforming, we can do it, but if it goes over that property line, we are screwed, all of us.
So, and so my understanding, excuse me, one moment. My understanding is that's why we're filing for a variance, is because we're going closer to his property line. He has to consent. So you would have legally his consent to
No,
say,
it's
But we
not,
need, so then he's comfortable, he knows exactly where his property line is.
so,
That's, yeah.
Yeah, see, if he sells it.
and we would absolutely get that as part of it. But what I'm not gonna do is pay someone $3,000 to get it denied.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. So it was my understanding coming into this, that basically, okay, so we filed for a variance because we would, when we started this, we found out that the 20-foot was the variance. Then we had this done, and we found out that, okay, indeed, we're actually outside of that already. And so based on that, we need to get a variance from him saying, hey, that's okay. And again.
the variance doesn't come from any of us. We make the decision, they put their input at the public hearing, it's irrelevant.
Right.
We make the decision. Whatever he says, he could say he hates you, and it's irrelevant to what we decide.
Got it.
You have to meet the 5 criteria,
Okay.
which you have all the, the monetary reasons, all that. But I'm hearing from everybody here that they want this survey before you come back. Because if you
Okay.
come back and you put the variance in, we're just gonna say, we need to know what that line is.
Yeah,
Like, even if you come back and say, listen, we're gonna be 6 feet from his property line, or 5 feet,
mhm.
exactly from the property line, just property line from the.
And that's
Maybe-
fine.
Maybe even talk to Norway Plains, there's a gentleman by the name of, shoot, I forget the name now, but if you don't have to do a full survey, because I don't think you need to do a full survey of your lot.
And so
just
that's
the property
what
line.
this
Yeah.
is. So that's what this is. So they went out, they came out and they surveyed this gentleman's lot. They went down here and they did this guy's lot, which they didn't include this on this drawing. And I'll get more clarification
Right.
from them. But they did this based on historical information from what I understand. And what he said was, I think the difference between what he referred to as like a sketch and what we know versus a stamp was, all right, so what do you actually want? You want a stamp and it's like $3,500, or this was $250.
Yeah.
So this I already paid for, which is fine, and if that's the requirement, if that's what I have to do, it is what it is.
You really should. Oh, and
But maybe not that much, that's a lot of money, I mean, I don't know, see if you can do something. Randy Orbis trained a few of the guys at Norway Plains, and
If
Randy
you can
Orbis
get a hold
did
of
all
him.
that stuff in that area.
and they have this stamp.
Yep.
Randy Orbis would probably only charge you $500 with these.
But
opinions.
Randy's retired and he doesn't
I
do a lot
know.
of work anymore. I can
I
give
know.
you Randy's number, it's in my phone.
Okay.
He used to do stuff for
And,
me.
and there are actually pins, I mean, these guys came out and they surveyed it, but again, I'll have to get more clarification from the board, but the way that I understood it was, all right, there's this level, which is to present to the board what the property looks like, and then there's this level, which is in the thousands, which he explained to me. But again, that was through Norway Plains, not Randy Orvis.
Right.
So,
Do you have
And,
a
and
mortgage
Randy's,
company on record? Do you have a mortgage?
yes, I
So
did.
they have this, you might wanna contact them of who they did that original for your mortgage, because that company should have a surveyor that they might be able to already have a lot of this work done, and put that in. Find out from the mortgage company who did, they did
mortgage
something.
company
like this.
won't know.
No, they will.
They didn't do a survey.
Yeah,
The
they,
mortgage company didn't do a
yeah,
survey.
they wouldn't.
A lot of them have some type of a, they
Yeah.
have to certify the foundation isn't on somebody else's property to grant a mortgage.
Mortgage companies
Not-
are
not in my
the
case.
bank, yeah,
Not in
not,
my case.
I don't think so either. I mean, you can,
Well,
It's more for your protection.
right.
I mean, if that neighbor, all of a sudden you become enemies and you
Absolutely
decide to
agree.
get nasty
Absolutely
and
agree.
rebuild,
Yep.
it could make you take it down.
Yep.
Even if we give you a variance, then we're in trouble and you're in trouble.
Yeah,
So it's like-
absolutely.
We just want you to.
And I don't think anybody is here saying if you're even 5 feet from the property line when you come back,
Yeah.
you know what that property line is, that's gonna be fine.
Yep.
That's too, no.
You know, I mean, the lots are small.
And again, we're very friendly with him, and again, I understand things happen, and the first thing we did was reach out to him and say, look, this is what we're looking to do. We knew that if we encroached towards his property, we'd have to file for a variance. Otherwise, I'm not sure what the protocol is to put a second floor on, but again, they're looking at, as a retirement property, their house is set back. It's probably, over here, and this obviously doesn't show he's on a corner lot. But he preferred it to anything else. And so again, we just want to follow procedure and do it in the most advantageous way for us fiscally.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'll have to talk to Norway Plains again, because he did describe it in the sense that like, so what are you looking for? Because they were contracted to come out and survey this property, which was they just cleared it, and there's a gentleman that purchased this. And while the guys were there, they did this property, which is Lakeside, and then they did our property as well, just to make sure that everything jived, if you will. That's the way it was explained to me.
Yeah.
And then from there, when I called, I talked to, I think, the owner or the head guy at Norway Plains, and he said, are you looking for what they went out and did, or are you looking for like a stamped, like, here's what it is?
Right, now, so Ashley Rowe is a good contact at Norway Plains.
Okay,
Ashley was working really closely with Randy. And my suggestion is to call Ashley first,
Okay,
and talk to Ashley. When you call Norway Plains, they'll know, the woman is great, they're wonderful, they know that whole area.
Sure.
They've done tons up in that area,
Mhm.
Norway Plains. But then, and mention to, Ashley, is it possible that we could reach out to Randy and find out if, maybe, because I know Randy's retired, Randy's denied a few things recently.
sure.
So it might be a better smooth ticket in, what I'm
Sure.
saying is if Ashley calls.
Well,
But Ashley's a male, and, but that's his email,
Perfect.
and then but Randy's email's there too, so even if you email Randy, and, because he might still be doing side stuff.
okay.
But that's your first step, I don't know, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, to just have
Ultimately, we want to, we're not looking to make waves, we
Yeah.
just want, it's 850 square feet, which, believe it or not, even for two people, no offense, honey, it's small.
It's not a big
And
rent.
we've got a half bath, so we're looking to just make it a little bit bigger, and that's it. And do it as least impactful to, the property and for the neighbors, so,
Yep, yep.
whatever you guys require, we're gonna do that. It's just, if there's sign off without, I don't know.
Right,
We're gonna go by what you guys.
right, and I do have a question though, and I don't know, maybe somebody here on the board can answer me too, because I'm still learning all this. But I just recently had somebody down the street from me in Milton, and they had to call the Milton building inspector, and the Milton building inspector came out, and they're doing an addition. And the thing is, that they're doing an addition, with just 2 bedrooms, that's a bigger addition than yours, not even touching the bathroom. And what they had to do, so she asked me, I had to call the environmental services up in, New Hampshire to find out about their exact septic stamp and approval, whenever their septic was done, and when it was done, because the Milton building inspector said, I need to see your approval by your septic, and you have to draw up, like a new design, you don't have to put anything in, he said, not an install. However, just in case that design fails that you have, you already have on paper a brand new design in place. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if Milton building inspector requires that, and I don't know if it, so that's what I'm saying, you might wanna call him.
So the first person that I called was Carl Roy.
Oh, good, good.
I did, and he mentioned nothing of that. He said basically, he basically deferred me to Carol in the front office and said, call her. He said, if you're within the property line, you'll have to apply for a variance. And from there, that was it. Because again,
Good, let's not, if that's
so,
the middle.
well, and ultimately what we looked at was, and again, being on the lake, obviously my neighbor down the street had to have theirs replaced. I'm much an environmentalist, so I would be very compliant with that. But it's my understanding, and I'd have to look at the records, that septic is fairly new.
Oh, good.
When I moved in June, it'll be 2 years this coming June, had it checked out, and it was.
And that could be the case, because theirs was over 30 years, so I think when we called the state, they said they usually only last 20, so it could be because.
Yeah.
It's based on the number of bedrooms.
It is based on
So
the.
they're not adding an additional bedroom, they're just expanding the size.
Right, but-
of the bedrooms. So that's why.
But that's why even, I don't know, that was just Milton, so that's why, as long as
Do
you've been.
you want to hang on to this, or?
No, you guys can take it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
But at least gives you a framework of what's going on there. So it would be my understanding too, just for frame of reference, that, again, I'm not a surveyor, but this box is basically like, okay, this is in today's world with the variances, with the regulations where you can build. I make the assumption that this gentleman has the same parameter, because it's brand new, where he has to build, but we're already out of it, and it's like, we're limited as to what we can do. The only other thing that we can do is put a structure back here, really.
I mean, maybe there could be, it's to look at how much would it cost to put a new tank in. I mean, I don't know if that's a really expensive.
A septic tank, or?
But because if your tank, I don't know, I'm just thinking because it's all that big area behind your home wouldn't be a problem to build. You get what I'm saying? You wouldn't even really be needing a variance, you wouldn't need anything if that tank wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Then we can
Yeah,
do the
the-
issue of the roof line.
Well, so the only issue there is that to put a septic in adds another $15,000 to $20,000, right? To what we want to do, first and foremost, and then maybe even more than that, because right behind the house, I can guarantee it's a lot of ledge.
Oh, okay.
It's all.
Yeah, I was just thinking a tank, not a whole design.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but again, if I can just make the point, that if you look at, like, okay, so this is the tank roughly, and this is the
Leach field.
leach field. We have all the room to go this way, but they determined that this was the best path for that tank and leach field. Otherwise, if I could move that, or if that wasn't there, if it was out here,
Do you know exactly how close it is to the tank? I mean, maybe it is further out, you don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean, the
The
tank?
tank, is it right close to your house?
Literally, if this is the back of my house, my tank is right here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not, and it kills me because, like I said, I would love to have a garage, a workspace, because the storage in this house, because there's no foundation, it's on, it's a crawl space. A garage would be amazing, and then, possibly a room above it or a room in the back, whatever, but just the way the design is, it's just not, unfortunately not conducive to it.
No.
And then again, jogging off the back, so, the other thought that we originally thought of was if we jogged off the back, but the way that the house, may I borrow your pen? Thank you. The way the house is set up is you have a main room here. So the kitchen, so if these are 2 bedrooms, okay? And then you have a bathroom here, and you have the kitchen here, and then basically the main room here. So we thought about, okay, well, if we do a jog off the back, then we'd have to relocate the bathroom and reset up these rooms, and then,
A lot more money, yeah. Yeah.
and with Tom Bovel's consent, which I have his information, I think you need to send him a certified letter if everything is clear. He had no problem going this way because, like, if we said, okay, so we could go this way, we could put a second floor on. What do we do?
Right.
It just made the most sense. And when we did the math and said, okay, we take a bedroom and we bump it out 8 feet, we create a little more storage interior. We make the bathroom going from literally shower stall like this to a tub and a shower. It just made all the sense in the world.
So moving forwards, we suggest get a stamp, lot plan that shows
So we just
survey.
wanna know how many feet you're from the property line, I guess.
Right, it'll show your house and then your property lines, and then bring that with the fill
Now,
out.
does he have a full application though? Did he fill out?
We filled it out. It's our understanding that we have this meeting and then we go to a hearing.
Yeah, and we'll do that, so once you get that done, let us know, and then, and bring in that, thing, and see, is he gonna see her, is she gonna see her to set up the?
Yeah, her
Rob, sorry.
You can just come in the office and get the.
Is your neighbor's name and address on your application? Because if we do need to send a
Well, no,
letter.
they have to get everything, right, they have to go through all the ones that are butters,
Okay.
they have to go right through the list and send out all the registered letters.
So do we have to go to the abutter of the new guy?
No, we have to send out letters, we make up a letter and send it out as a zoning board.
All the
Yeah,
others
yeah.
have to be.
You don't send a letter.
So left and right and forward, or?
All of them, everyone that's around you.
Anyone
So
that
4.
touches.
And do we need to provide that to you, or?
No.
No, we
No,
get it from the
okay.
tax map.
Okay.
We do all that.
Okay.
You just come in and they'll tell you what the fee is for it to send those out, and just give them the check and your application signed. And,
Okay.
and you fill out the 5 criteria, what the things are, why you need to do it.
Yeah.
And then you should be good, I mean,
We'll get it done post
we
haste.
can,
We're looking to move on at a.
That would be
ASAP,
awesome.
So.
excellent, well, thank you for coming in.
All right. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
Did, so this we have,
No, old business is when we accept the last ones, I jumped the gun, sorry, I always thought,
No, the new business, because they were here, but we
Yeah.
still have this that we haven't, this come together in Silver Street. Was that somebody that, what was that? I saw this on the file.
oh, good, this is, I guarantee it's the corner of Sunrise and Silver?
Is that an old
63. I mean, it was.
Yeah, you said that, but have they come forward?
I know, let's see what that is, I don't know. But, and this is another thing, if
It
I
was
should
a
make a
while ago.
suggestion, these people here, we should have been able to look at an application, we should have had an application in front of us. I mean, I'm just making a suggestion.
No,
the
this was
application
in
should have
June.
been in the folder. The application should have been in the folder, I gave.
Okay. Well, then
From these
Chuck,
guys?
Yeah.
then Chuck, you need to make copies for your team.
Yeah, but the reason that we had them come in, see, that's what you said, it was in here, and that's what I was looking for while they were here, but.
Me too. So 63 Silver Street. And I've seen that name, Tamara. It says the childcare agency listed above confirms the requirements of the zoning ordinance. Any limits?
Why are they coming to us for a driveway permit?
Oh, that's a driveway, is that what it is?
Well, that's what you would put.
Well,
Yeah.
it says that it's,
Oh, the talking.
Zoning verification, but,
right, this was from Janet Kalar, looks like.
okay.
It's been a long time coming, if you read that.
All right, let's read this, okay. Well, then we need to make sure we address it. We don't need people saying we're not.
Right.
Daycare Silver Street, okay. So, do you want me to read this to you guys? Sure. This here, you want me to do that? 'Cause
Yeah,
just so we can hear, okay. It says, in this instance, this does fall, or I don't even know, I guess.
Now, which one is this that we're doing? I think.
Well, it's the same thing. He
See,
says
it's right in
this.
here. We asked for a certified plot plan always.
Yeah.
So we weren't asking.
So maybe
for
you should
anything.
read that then, because I don't know, this is just comments.
Yeah, I think I'm getting really confused as to what this is.
No, see, I don't have, there's nothing,
Where the, let's call it, thing I gave you.
no, this is the come together and that was it.
That was flag strip, something like that, right?
She's applying for a home business.
I don't know.
So I was going for everything, that's just
Yeah.
construction,
That's why but it says zoning
that's
verification.
just the master plan stuff.
Let's open up the book and find out about daycare businesses.
We're trying to find these guys' applications. I thought they said they still had theirs.
They said they filled it out.
Yeah, they filled out, this guy, remember them,
I know with the planning board and the applications that they're.
I know that Carol gave it to me, that much, you know, and
Yeah,
I was
accept-
90%, yeah, I was 90% sure that there, this is that, right there,
There it is.
that's it.
So I believe the application has to be accepted by you guys and then as.
No, I wanted them to come in and just to discuss it because of that, like you said, where it was and so close to the property line. That's why I wanted to find out if they had, because under our rules, it says that you should have, if you're going for a variance or instructions, you should have a certified plot plan. Right here, certified plot plan recommended as part of the application.
Oh. So it's a business, correct?
Yeah, it's not needed, but it's right in
Alright,
our rules.
what we talking about, we need to figure out what we're talking about right now.
We're still on flag just for the moment,
Alright,
before we move to the next one.
Okay.
So this is what they were given, the instructions. So, and this was set up a long time ago, I remember, that you should have a certified, at least you should have a boundary survey, so when you're talking about the distances, especially in any of these small lots, it's not like my lot, I have 300 acres, if I'm putting something on the middle, I'm no way I'm gonna need the edge. But when you get to a small lot, you need a certified plot plan, because we can't grant the variance that's gonna put it on somebody else's property, you know? That's what I was saying about that line on his plan showed it was about 15 feet now, so it's gonna be 7 feet if that line holds up, you know, and we just need to know that, so.
So, but we need to find his application, we don't have an application for
We
that.
have his application.
Right here,
Okay.
but it's not all the way done, that's why I just was going over here.
They're actually talking about revising that.
They're gonna need to,
Clear
right,
for people.
they're gonna need to, because this is a sketch, not a stamp certified plot plan.
Doesn't give enough guidance.
Right, so we would have to deny this instead of doing that, that's why
Mhm.
I would have given this back to him if I knew it was there, we're stuck in with the other stuff.
Okay, but in the future, I would just like to suggest that, because before when we had something like this, we were always sent those in an email, so we got a chance to look at them. We would.
Right.
We got an email and we got a letter.
Yeah,
and we said,
normally this would
"We
have
have
been
a
scanned
meeting."
in and sent to everybody.
So, Robin, would it be possible for you to make copies of those and send out?
Yeah, when they first come in, just so we can
Because
familiarize
When
ourselves.
Ken did something like that, he even said, "This is the address, take a ride by and take
Right.
a look," and we bought a copy, so we knew what we were coming into.
Right.
In advance.
Knew in advance that we got to see the application, we knew what was happening.
Although
Right.
last time before Ken, we got them when we came to the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really hard,
I
because
think-
I was always playing catch up.
Yeah,
I can send it out with an agenda and.
Yeah, that'd be
any
awesome.
Attachments that are applicable to
That'd be
this.
perfect.
Appreciate that.
I think that would be wonderful, because I think moving forward, we might be getting quite a few more.
Yeah, so I'll give this one back to you.
So, and it's good that if we
For
can
when
get
they
more
come back
organized
in
with
to
that.
revise it.
You know? Thank you.
You're welcome. I can actually make this part of the minutes too.
Yeah.
With that picture.
Alright, so we're gonna wait for them on that one to come back in, get the certified plot plan, let us know, they can bring it into her, pay that fee, and then we'll schedule it, we'll ask them. Because we don't wanna do it on a normal meeting night, you know what I mean? You wanna do it on a different week, just to make sure that we have enough time to do it. I don't think they're gonna have too much people coming in on that one.
Now, are we planning to meet monthly? Is that what we're doing?
Just for a little while till we get caught up, and then,
Well, don't scare her away, because
no, no, no.
But we
Not-
never did that before.
Not-
Before, it was only when the Danes came in.
Yeah.
We met, we never met.
But there's a lot of stuff going on, right? I mean, we have,
No, I mean, it's great.
so now, maybe we should talk about this one, because you said something's been around for a while, we need to address it. Is that the business, the daycare business on Silver Street?
no, what I'm saying, well, that has been going along, it looks like they haven't actually filed, right? There's no, and I didn't see it, you
Well,
guys,
I'm not really,
She's
I'm
got
not
something.
completely understanding this, because it says conditions of approval, and it's telling you what is needed to get the approval.
on their application for this daycare? Because it looks like that went to the planning board, and then Janet Kalar said it should come here first. Is what looks like what happened, right? In Janet's email too, is that what you were looking at? Nick?
Yeah, I was looking here, so it's, I just see that it says article, I haven't read it all, maybe,
Pass that over
because
to
it
Lori.
looks, I'll let, Vicky, because when I started, it was just not making sense. But, I wanna look at Article 36, because if she's doing a daycare, Article 36. I'm trying to fast way to find these things.
So
I'm gonna make a comment that my chair needs to be more prepared. Chuck?
I don't know.
I like Chuck a lot, but yes, we know where. Article 36, let's find it.
one of the things that also, which I think is down there now, is the master plan, right? You guys are just, I mean, this stuff comes out, and we're really supposed to be looking at this too, to see how it fits in with our zoning regulations.
Right.
Because if it doesn't fit in with it, we need to let
Okay,
them
so-
know that it's like all messed up. That's the only reason I think we should meet for the next few months, just to make sure we're looking over these things.
So now look, Article 36 here is not a
So it's
daycare.
saying here that we're basically approving in a home daycare. I didn't realize, this will be the first one I've done on these, I didn't realize this was the job of the zoning board.
Well, no, we're not approving that. What did Janet ask for?
What she's saying is, okay, she said, in this instance, this does fall to ZBA. What you are referring to is more a site review. that
No,
is-
we won't do
which is
site
not-
reviews,
Which
the
is not
planning board does.
necessary, she says. The state forms she has are specific departments and not the planning board. So what she's saying is, I previously stated that planning board members looked over her paperwork and made the determination that this was not ours to handle. That's okay. Also, instead of looking at generally in-home businesses, you should look more specifically at daycare. The state has already been out to visit her. To my knowledge, if there are specific forms for these actions, then they are at the town offices according to John Mullen, any forms needed by the application will be up there. So see, I'm not sure what we're doing.
What article are we looking for?
But, well, it said, but it's, Where is, it was a family daycare, was in here, 36, when I turned to Article 36, it wasn't there, it was something else, so let's see. Yeah, it's just, like, in-home businesses, let's find it. What's the, is there, oh, wait, let's look here in the beginning, please.
Okay, yeah, it says it appears that the planning board is being the chair of the zoning board of adjustment and its designee for review of home business applications.
That's not Article 36.
I'm not saying you don't do it, I've just
I don't
never
believe
done
you.
this, it's never been presented in the last few years that I've been on the phone, I've never seen this.
I don't know if that's the case.
We'll have to go through and double check and see what that is. It's a good fact, and this is-
I mean, all we can do is look at the zoning regulations, right? I mean,
Yeah, we'll have to look at what the zoning board actually.
what
So
zone,
what are they requesting?
yeah, what are they requesting?
Are they going on their property lines? I mean, or,
No, they're not. They're requesting that the home business be approved.
so.
They are wishing to establish a home business and shall submit a request.
If it's allowed, then it's
by-
good.
Okay,
It's Article
I'm
22.
fine with that as long as they're not, building it too close to the neighbor's house, how's that, or too
Right.
tall,
And,
Right.
you
it
know,
says here-
anything like that.
Home entrepreneur enterprises, is that it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's Article 22, so we all want to turn to Article 22, it says home enterprises.
Well,
You know,
so we need their plan.
but we want more businesses in our town, remember we talked about that, that was the whole goal, so. She's
So
not,
what are the rules and regulations, and we need to know what it is, why we would approve this and why we
The
do
only
it.
reason we would not approve it is if it was in violation of the zoning ordinance.
I don't know,
Right, but we don't actually-
I would wanna look at the articles and read what the articles.
But we don't approve things like that. If it says that it can be done here, but there's no approval for it,
let's see.
and the zoning board, the planning board takes a look at the zoning regulations, and if it conforms to that, they don't send them somewhere else.
Well, there's to us. So there's a reason, Kayla's pretty intelligent, so there's a reason that she sent it our way, and I do think we have to go through the articles.
Okay.
And we have to
Look through the
I'll
articles.
make a motion that we speak with Janet Baylar and see what it is that Janet would like us to review.
Right.
I personally know someone who goes to all the planning board meetings, so I'll ask that person if they know, have any background on it, and we can review this at the next meeting.
Okay, so the motion is to,
To someone
Talk to Janet
to
Taylor.
speak with Janet,
okay,
and also I'll snoop around and see if I can find out what was being discussed.
Well, that's not the motion, the motion should
Yes.
talk to Janet Taylor.
Speak with Janet, yes.
We just need more clarification.
Okay.
I mean, so under this Article 22, it says that a business, profession, or trade that is conducted by a resident of the premises entirely within the residence or an accessory building and does not involve more than occasional business vehicular traffic. A daycare is going to have whatever, it's 16 cars in and 16 cars out daily. So that right there, it's not a home business.
Yeah.
If she's watching her neighbor's kids or a couple of kids for a friend, that's fine, because that could be a home business. But a daycare falls under a commercial business that has to go for a site plan review under the state statutes. So if Kayla is asking us to say,
Okay, wait, there's more to this, there's more, she's got stuff circled here. It's an accessory uses. So home businesses, according to Article 36.
Right, which that's,
You see Article 36?
Article 36 is just definitions, but I'll turn to Article 36.
So that was 34,
She's got that circled, so.
Well, I'm not taking an old book, but Article 36 is definition, page 87 in this thing.
So it really does seem like we need more clarification on what's going on, so.
I think we need, yeah, we need.
Alright, so who is going to talk to Janet?
You don't have to wait to do copies, huh?
Yeah.
I might take some pictures because I think we need to really do
Alright.
more.
Chuck,
Accessory.
Jim, who do we want to have talk to you?
I can talk to her. Does she
Alright.
have a phone number?
So, motion, I don't have one, but Robin, do we have one in the office?
the phone number for Jan? I
Yeah.
can email.
Well, I guarantee it.
Okay. So
I'm sure Carol.
the plan is to have, so the motion is to have Chuck talk to Janet Taylor to get clarification on this application, right? So we need a second.
I'll second. Oh, I'll make a motion.
You made the motion, so somebody else needs to second it.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, so
Do
then,
we have a second?
All in favor? Any opposed?
well, then, yeah, because then again,
Dan,
that's.
was that an aye? Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, that's better, because when we know in advance, and we get to, you know. Right.
So that means that tomorrow, Chuck, you're gonna get in touch with Robin for the phone number or for contact information?
I'll give you my number, then you can just call me when you get it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Ready?
Run out of paper here.
603-231-0284.
I'll call you again.
It was on page, 87 or 88.
All right.
What was?
That, based on her,
86 it starts, but.
yeah, 86 and
But I'll find
87.
out what they're trying to do. Does it say it in the application? I'll find out what they need to know how many kids they're gonna have. They need a whole bunch of things.
They have like 9, I think she said 9 children. What they need to have.
So,
Okay.
so right now we're tabling this and.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
More clarification.
Do we have any other old business? I didn't see any. Do you know of any other that's coming?
I'm aware of.
Did you get anything, Robin? All right. Member comments. We've had a lot of those coming.
This is just a rough outline of what some of the other boards do.
No, it's good. It's really
That's
good.
great.
Anything that you guys, so we should set our next meeting for, I like it doing on this, what is it, second or third Tuesday? Second Tuesday?
Second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday, does that work for everybody?
That works for me, does it work for you guys?
It's
What's the date?
Again, we're doing 6:30.
Yeah, that's good.
Any day but Thursday.
So what's the date on that?
What's that?
It's a 1 month today, it's picture
Oh,
on the ground.
This will need to be addressed. I mean, this was signed back in October, so this is something that needs to be, I mean, we're gonna make it look like we're not doing our job.
So the 13th will be the second Tuesday.
So June 13th.
I thought they'd not, is this the second Tuesday? Right now?
This is the second Tuesday.
Yeah, we met.
Oh, no, this is the third Tuesday.
Oh, sorry, we should do that.
So then we would be looking at the 20th.
Yeah, that's good.
20th? Yep. Perfect.
You all right with that, Vicki?
I'll let you. I think
So on the next agenda, when you put it, I wanna go over some of the stuff in the master plan. Does everybody have a copy of the master plan that came out?
No.
Oh, is this from what year?
The one that they just,
Well, it's-
I think
6:30?
This is recent, no.
6:30, yes. So could you email us all a copy of the master plan?
I don't have a physical copy.
Sure.
No, she'll email it.
Well, that means I got those staples and things.
So you can have this one for now,
Well, thank
and
you.
then just bring it back.
There we go.
I'd rather think,
Because I'll look at it on the email when it comes.
I'd rather have it physical.
Just because I'd like to go over it, because there's a bunch of conflicts in there already with the zoning, so.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Thanks, saying, Chuck, what's that shoe with the
Maybe
dog?
you want me to, if you want me
I
to,
would, I would want it.
and if you want me to get to you beforehand, because this is too much for her to scan at all. I don't mind making copies at
We
Staples.
get a wonderful machine. Unless you wanna do this.
Yeah, well, I don't mind.
Well, they have that, it's on, I'm pretty sure they have that. It's in the planning board file, they
Okay.
have that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so,
So we'll go over that and we'll,
Yeah, we need to address this.
yeah, we'll address this I'll find out and I'll send it around, I'll let everybody know what I find out. I'm not gonna send it in an email, but I'll just let everybody know that whether we do need to do something, or if I tell her we need to send it back.
I mean, we
I'll-
can meet sooner if, I mean, I can meet sooner.
Right.
I can make sense too, that's what I'm saying, because I mean, I do feel bad that this is something we need to address, it's something that needs to be, because this has been hanging around
Right,
for
since October.
6 months, whatever.
I think let's go, we get the information, and I think let's start by doing it by, within the next month, for, gonna be in good shape.
Yes.
Who's,
So, let's just,
who's the person that's,
A woman by the name of Tamar Nordman on 63 Silver Street. I guess she already has an active daycare and it's approved by the state. So, it's kind of, I think
It's
she's
kind of like
doing,
Tammy Bailey, she's got a pretty big one, right?
how big, but she's.
oh, it's not the same person? Then, sorry, then I'm wrong, because I just knew that there was a daycare in town.
That's Tammy Bailey.
Okay, so then I don't know.
so,
I shouldn't talk.
like I said, yeah, we're gonna clarification, we move from there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then, so we'll go over that, we'll go over the master plan.
Mhm.
What else do we need to do for the next agenda? Anything anybody can think of?
Yeah, so then we need that to review this before the meeting to see
Right.
what we.
Just so we can have a little
Mhm.
discussion about that.
No, then my concern is just making sure that we always have a little copy of knowing what we're coming into. Like, I appreciate now you said we're gonna focus on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she can send out the next agenda, that's why I was just going over it, to try and get a little, so she can put in the agenda what we're gonna work on. when we, come up.
Okay, good.
Or even I need myself to 603.
Do you have any concerns?
I have no concern, but I think that what you guys are planning is perfect,
Yeah,
and I agree with everything you're saying about making sure we're prepared for this.
yes, yeah.
I'll just come pick it up.
And let's review the instructions too, these were made up about 25 years ago. These instructions, we'll just, I'd like to review this if we have time at the next meeting. The instructions that we hand to people,
Yeah,
this
that
is-
would be important,
this
because
is-
that's what they're gonna get.
right, this was
Make
made
sure-
up by the zoning board like 20-something years ago.
I need to know, because if these people get like, I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
we'll just do a review of our procedures on that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
Mhm.
Anything else anybody has?